Let us back into our program. It is a continuation of the previous class, a study on amino acids and proteins. Just a brief it of amino acids and proteins. Proteins are macromolecules made out of amino acids, small amino acids. And this making by a reaction is known as polymerization. I told in the last class. Polymerization, that is linking of amino acids, chemically linking with the elimination of water, chemical bond. This linking is continuation, this side as well as this side, and amino acids combined in large number, forming a linear, a big molecule. This is a molecule like this. So about 50 to 2000, even more than 2000, 3000 amino acids combined to form a giant molecule. It is called a protein molecule, polymerization. And reverse also possible. What is reverse? Hydrolysis. This polymerization with the elimination of water molecule is a byproduct. Reverse is hydrolysis. So reverse means the same water is added, breaking, and amino acids are released this side. So when you break up this molecule, protein molecule, break up by hydrolysis, chemical reaction. This is a reaction, hydrolysis, reaction with water. Amino acids are obtained. Amino acids are released. And these two reactions, both the reactions are taking place in the biological system, in all living system, plants and animals. These reactions of course occur in presence of enzymes, a supporting, a catalyst. In biochemistry, in biochemical system, all biological reactions, what is that, accompany are taking place in presence of enzymes, specific enzymes. One reaction, one enzyme. Other reaction, other enzymes. All enzymes are proteins only again. And these reactions, both reactions, polymerization also take place in presence of enzymes, and hydrolysis of this also take place in presence of enzymes. We get protein by amino acids and amino acids from the protein. Both reactions are possible in the living system. And amino acid I told you in the last class. This amino acid, what is that? This amino acid is common. This group is common. Amino acid. Amino group is there, acidic group is there. This is acidic carboxylic group. This is amino group. Carbon with alpha. This is carbon is called as alpha carbon in this position. Is connected by R. This H is common. This is common in all amino acids. How many amino acids are there? There are 21 amino acids in our living system. The plant, animal, or microbes. 21 amino acids are there. These 21 amino acids differ. How they differ? It is differ by difference in F. That is differ by difference in the R group. I told you in the last one, just recall this. This difference, here, this is common, the difference R group. Below chain is called as different groups. Different organic, what is that? The hydrocarbon group, we have different amino acids. 21 amino acids are there. This is naturally available amino acids. And this are being classified into, that is, essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. What is meant by essential amino acids? Here, all these 21 amino acids synthesized in the plant cell. This plant cell is very important. Plant cell make all these amino acids. Where they synthesis take place in the chloroplast. I will do the details of these organelles. That is compartments or components of the cell later. Chloroplast. The chloroplast present in the cell. How many chloroplasts usually present? What is that? Each cell contains nearly 40 chloroplasts. The main purpose of chloroplast is making glucose out of carbon dioxide and water and using light energy, light photon of light. So absorb and convert carbon dioxide into water into glucose. that energy absorbed and store up in the form of chemical energy, that is in glucose. Making that is very important. Chemical energy is in the form of glucose. Main purpose is glucose formation. From the glucose, it make all other compounds. Very interesting point. Chloroplast, there is also make glucose into amino acids. How they make into amino acids? The glucose thus obtained, of course, glucose thus obtained by a series of reactions, not one reaction, steps of reactions. Conversion becomes a hydrocarbon, cyclic carbon, it is the glucose formation containing carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. A ring like this, of course, glucose. This glucose combines with nitrate ion and ammonium ion. That is ions or minerals. Or the other minerals are, of course, that is plant is absorbing through roots. The roots of the plant absorb as minerals. Ions, that is the nutrients for the plants. Among them, nitrate is one ion, ammonium is another ion, potassium like this, K plus, phosphate and sulfates and so on. That is phosphate and carbonates and so on. This is, and the glucose and these ions chemically combine to form amino acids. The interesting point is that in this organelle, glucose forming, of course, glucose forming changing to other compounds later. Let us see, there are numerous compounds. Glucose is the main basic. So once first formation is glucose, and this becomes variety of compounds. One of them is amino acids. So you synthesize, chloroplast synthesize all these amino acids. Interesting is only plant cell can make all these amino acids. Chemical reactions, a series of chemical reactions. That is glucose undergo reaction with this, because this is supplied by nitrogen base, that is for amino. To get the amino glucose, these ions are important. These ions react with glucose to form amino acids. All these amino acids are synthesized in plant cell. That is what is that source? Plant cell. Plant is a source for synthesis of all amino acids. But here, animal or human cell cannot synthesize all these amino acids, 21 amino acids. That is why it is classified. Look at that. It is classified as essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. What are essential amino acids? Here, non-essential amino acids means these amino acids again, that is 1 to 8, 1 to 4. These amino acids, I told you in the last class, I explained everything. These amino acids are what is that our body can synthesize. That is, cell, animal cell or human cell can synthesize all these amino acids, 8 amino acids and 4 amino acids. See, alanine, asparagine, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, glycine, serine, ornithine, glutamine, tyrosine, cysteine, arginine, proline, all these amino acids, these animal cell can make. This again from glucose and serine, that is, animal cell can make here in the bodies, organelles. But these amino acids, no animal cell or human cell is synthesizing. These organelles cannot synthesize. There is no provision for synthesis of these amino acids. The amino acids are valine, leucine, isoleucine, threonine, methionine, lysine, phenylalanine, histidine, tryptophan. These amino acids our body or cell cannot synthesize. And these amino acids should come from what is that? Source of plants. This food in the form of food. Nutrients. I'll tell you all the nutrients we take. Through protein, what we eat. Through food, we get this. Food, what is that? What you take will what is that? Degraded into amino acids. And these amino acids, actually what is that? Supplemented through food. That is why these are also required, all are required. But these are essentially, what is that? These are essential means these should present essentially in the food. These need not be. Therefore, essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids. Essential means they should be taken through food. Non-essential means need not be taken. They make. Our body, our cell can synthesize like this. And among this again subclass is there. Under non-essential amino acid, we have conditionally essential amino acid, non-essential office. Here conditionally essential amino. What is meant by conditionally essential amino acid? All these amino acids are synthesized when the body is healthy. No disease, no stress. All these amino acids. That is 8 plus 4. But when the body under what is stress or in the times of disease or illness, during what is that? In the period, what is the stress period, where what is the disease or illness, infected body is infected. Under some conditions, under some infections, what is that? These amino acids, what is that? Body cells cannot do this because the cells involved in other functions. In that case, what is that? These amino acids, the cell cannot make. Only under stressful condition, only under certain infections. Therefore, these amino acids need to be supplemented, take as supplement. That is why doctor advised to take these amino acids or some what is a protein substance containing this as a supplement during illness. These are called as conditionally essential amino acid. Only during the stress period, this should be supplemented. Conditionally essential. That is why these amino acids are synthesized all the time, whether the body is in times of illness or healthy. They are called, again the class is conditionally essential amino acid, non-essential office. It is grouping as all 21 amino acid on the basis of what is that? The cell, which can synthesize some, it cannot synthesize during some period. So this is about the amino acid I am talking about. And these amino acids, what is that? Amino acid and proteins. Of course, we require proteins. These are what is that? All these organelles. Why protein molecules? Why amino acid required? These protein molecules, whether this animal cell or plant cell, whether the tissue. I tell you tissue. What is the tissue embedded? In the tissue, these cells are what is that? Embedded. This is all the tissue material, all the cell material usually made of what is that? Protein substances, protein molecules. They have different functions. So structural support, the shape, and all organelles and all these organelles, majority of this material, these also materials are there to maintain the structure of the cell, size and structure of the cell. They are called as elemental, all these material, organelles and all these materials. All these materials mainly contains what is the proteins and also some carbohydrates. Of course. Carbohydrates, the polymer molecules also is there. Mainly carbon content, there is protein molecule. That is where protein is very important. Proteins. To make all the cells and tissues made of proteins mainly. So that is why I am talking about the proteins. And these are the cells which can make the protein. So let us go in detail about this. And before that, let us talk about different organs, that is different compartments, components of each cell. What are the components here? Look at that. Some common organelles of both this animal cell and plant cell. Let us pick out. Nucleus is there. Nucleus. Nucleus contains DNA molecule. 46 chromosomes. What is 46 chromosomes? 46 DNA molecule. Big molecule. That is macromolecule. It contains what is lakhs of nucleotides. Big molecule, DNA polymer, nucleotides. DNA is a polymer of nucleotide. Nucleotide is monomer, DNA is a polymer. 46 giant, that is that DNA molecules are there. And nucleus, that is nucleus liquid, that is nucleus material, and also it contains proteins. It also contains proteins to stabilize the nucleic acid. Also contains proteins to stabilize the nucleic acid. Present. Proteins are also there. That is common. And one more common here. Look at that endoplasmic reticulum. Here it is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. It is smooth endoplasmic reticulum with what is surrounding the nucleus, organelles, bodies. They can shape like this. Here also there, here also common. What are these functions actually? These functions, that is the ribosome. Rough means these endoplasmic reticulum organelles, what is that? Attached with many, what is that? Ribosomes. Ribosomes again protein substances, protein molecules. A group of protein molecules, protein bodies. Yeah. There are also these protein bodies, ribosomes are also present over here. It is called cytosol. What is cytosol? Is a solution, water solution containing soluble substances. All soluble substances are there. Right? Liquid is there. The liquid or fluid is there. The fluid is what is a solution. Homogeneous solution. What is that? So contains sugar, amino acids, fatty acid, minerals, vitamins, and all these things are there. It's a solution. What is that? In this also what is that? Ribosomes. Three ribosomes in the cytosol. Ribosomes, there is a protein bodies. Ribosomes, like this ribosomes. I'll tell you the purpose of this. Because these ribosomes at which, what is that? Protein synthesis take place. And take place as per the instruction from the DNA. The DNA will make RNA. RNA will come out and sit on what is the ribosome. This is a ribosomal body like this. Sit, what is that? And there is the RNA will come, right? Ribosomes, enclose this. And I'll tell you what is the mechanism. That is the cellular mechanism involved in the making synthesis of molecule. These ribosomal bodies, protein synthesis take place. Singularities. And here Golgi bodies are there. Golgi bodies are there. What is the purpose of Golgi bodies? The protein molecules thus obtained. Here protein molecules are obtained. Here carbohydrate molecules are obtained. Lipid molecules are also obtained. There are also polymer molecules. And the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This is organelles where carbohydrate synthesis take place. Carbohydrate synthesize and lipid synthesize. Lipid means the fats molecules are synthesized. Likewise, here also it is synthesize. And after this macromolecules formation, it requires what is that in this body, the purpose of this body is those big molecules, what is that? Say synthesized in a linear way. It wants what is that? Is folding. It requires some folding into a definite structure. And the folding after that, they folded or the structural, what is the structural appearance of the folding, you have some function. That is what we need the function. The some function means it may be a structural function or some enzymic function or hormonal function like this. No, it varies. And where that folding and all and the substitution of what is that some group, extra group, maybe carbohydrate group or lipid group or protein group, added here and make the molecule is functional here. So here producers not functional. When they enter here, they become functional. Correct molecule to make a specific function. That is like Golgi bodies. Just a brief about it, not I'm going detail into it. That is the purpose of these Golgi bodies. Next, what is the purpose of mitochondria? Here mitochondria is there, mitochondria is very important mitochondria. And in the mitochondria, what happens here? Glucose is producing. From the glucose you can make many things and important application of glucose here. Whether the glucose is producing here, glucose is not producing, we take the glucose from food. I'll tell you how the glucose entry into the cell through tissue and the vascular system. Glucose. And the glucose is there always, glucose solution is there. From the glucose, here, this will make glucose into ATP molecules. What is ATP molecules? Glucose contains chemical energy. Glucose contains energy. What energy? That energy what I see here is taken from, that is energy is, that is what energy? Solar energy. This organelles take the solar energy, the light energy, and convert into chemical energy as a glucose. So from this glucose, what is that? We will take here and also it will as a food here. This glucose molecule, essentially a glucose molecule, make ATP molecules. Other energy molecules. Other molecules, what is that? Containing chemical energy, ATP. They are called adenosine triphosphate, ATP molecules. So this actually requires a series of reactions. A glycolysis takes place in the cytosol. A glycolysis and enter again glycolysis, a pyruvate formation, and then into citric acid. A citric acid is a series of reaction in the mitochondria. Finally, you get 80 molecules. Glucose combines with oxygen. Not only glucose, glucose undergo oxidation, combines with oxygen. Oxygen, what is that? Taking as a respiration. The cells can use oxygen as a respiration. Oxygen is there. It can take either from the roots, or it is what is that produced by the oxygen produced by what is that during glucose formation. The carbon dioxide and water making glucose, and also oxygen is liberated. That oxygen can be used as a respiration. Remaining is expel it. Here oxygen by respiration through lungs and through blood, oxygen comes here. Glucose undergoes oxidation making ATP molecule. What is ATP molecule? It's a currency. What currency? Biological currency. In system, what is that? Cellular currency. In all cells using this energy, this molecule as a currency, energy currency. Just like we are using currency on notes as currency to buy a variety of things. We can buy clothes, we can buy food, we can buy furniture like this. No, the same money we are using. Likewise, these cells or the animal cells or plant cell always use energy, not as if energy is available. It is used in the form of ATP molecules only. All biological reactions take energy for their expenditure only in terms of ATP molecules available. They use the currency. This ATP molecules, what is that? Is always a reserve present in the reserve. They are filled with ATP molecules. Reserve is there. Reserve is there. When the reserve go down, they make mitochondria will make ATP. Glucose is there, made from glucose to ATP molecules. Always reserve is there. Whenever it requires energy, they use ATP energy and make whatever. So same ATP energy is used to what is that? Make is for the reaction of all biological reactions, whether synthesis or metabolism or catabolism. All reactions use energy as ATP as currency. That is very common. That is by purpose of mitochondria. Is common. And this lysosome, a spherical shape contains lysosome. It contains variety of enzymes. So mixture of enzymes. Keep ready. Reserve is there. These enzymes, of course, proteins made out of this. You will keep it as a reserve. What is the purpose of these enzymes? Whenever any compartment or what is that is organelle is damaged. Damage means it should be decomposed. No, it should be destroyed, make into pieces. No, it is eat out. These enzymes, what is that? Actually, damaged one, they hydrolyze into splice, make into the contains macromolecules, carbohydrates, proteins, all is now. They divide, that is, they break into what is that, right? Enzymes. These are enzymes which can catalyze, which can break all these organelles into pieces, plasma molecules. And those molecules can be reused, or any unwanted molecules will send it out as a waste. That is the purpose of this. Very important. These enzymes look into that every organ, healthy organ is there, whether the organ is, what is that, any organ that is damaged, just keep watching. And the moment it is damaged by infection or some other means, what is that, immediately it will clean up by immediate action, chemical reaction. Make all the big molecules into pieces and take some molecules, if they use it, can use it. Unwanted molecule, they send it as a waste. That is the purpose of lysosomes. They are also lysosomes. And these are the things. There is DNA and DNA. And the difference is here chloroplast, no chloroplast. There is a difference, main difference. Chloroplast, here it is the word, what is that? Each cell contains about 40 chloroplast. And each leaf contains 30 million cells. Parenchyma cell. Plant contains mainly 5 types of cells. Parenchyma cells, sclerenchyma, collenchyma, xylem, phloem. Mainly these tissues. And each leaf contains 30 million cells. Each cell contains 40 chloroplast. It is not there. Because of this, life on earth exists. All plants survive on because of this reaction taking place. All animals survive because of the reaction. What is the reaction? Formation of glucose. Main. How glucose is formed? By the combination of carbon dioxide and water. Water the plant is taking from the root, and carbon dioxide as a what is that respiration through what is that? Through leaves directly under the beneath the leaf, what is that? The pores are there, form of pores. From this carbon dioxide enter, you take carbon dioxide absorb. Those carbon dioxide molecules and water molecules chemically combine by the action of light radiation. Pigment, chloroplast is a sensor, that is sensor which absorb, light sensor absorb and convert this carbon dioxide and water. A series of reactions take place. Not one step, a series of reactions, finally glucose formation. This glucose formation is the main. From these glucose molecules, it will make all other molecules. It will make amino acids. And from this glucose, what is that? An amino acid, it will make nucleotides. What is nucleotides? Nucleotides for making what is that? DNA molecules. And what DNA is? Arises out of it. A variety of substance. And chloroplast. Here chloroplast is not there. There is difference between the animal cell and plant cell. That is what the differences mainly. And this cell wall difference. Cell wall is there, cell wall is not there. Why the purpose of cell wall? Because plants and trees are growing vertically. Vertical means vertical growing against the gravity, that is important. Against the gravity, because growing against the gravity on the stem, there is a stem. Here, there is a pressure. The stem is holding the weight against the gravity. No. That is the pressure, very high pressure is developed on the tissues of the stem. Tissues of the stem. And this pressure actually is exerting on every tissue of the stem. And stem, that is, each stem, tissue contains what is that? So many cells are there. That pressure, external pressure or mechanical pressure, it is as a result of growing of the plant or tree in vertical direction. That pressure is exerted on the tissue, which in turn exert on every cell. If the cell with only membrane, it will be crushed because of the pressure. Only in case of trees growing in large, going vertically. So, to prevent this crushing, what is that? Nature has given the support. What is that? A rigid cell, that is a cellulose, of course made of lignin as well as a rigid mechanical strength producing, which can withhold external pressure. It remains cell in the same structure. That is why that is cell wall is there, is a protection against, there is a mechanical protection against the pressure built up on the tissue, which in turn on the cell because of the vertical growth of the tree against the gravity. That is why reason. Here we don't have that. We have support of bones, skeleton, that's all. And one more difference here, central vacuole. There is no central vacuole. It is quite a large space is occupied. What is the purpose of central vacuole? I told you just now. This will withstand mechanical strength, external pressure. And not only that, what is that? This cannot take the entire pressure, but also what is that? Some pressure inward, that is towards outward. Inward pressure should be exerted to compensate the outward pressure. That is pressure from the external, that is external force because of growing the plant. And there should be also a compensation inward force, that is in the inner force towards the outside. To balance that, what is that? Here also pressure is exerted. Some of these vacuole, central vacuole, exert pressure to compensate for the external pressure. That is why this pressure and this strength, the pressure exerted by internal pressure exerted by the cell, the cellular pressure actually it is building up in the central vacuole. This pressure and this mechanical strength can, what is that? Withstand the external pressure. That is why purpose of central vacuole. That is application. There is no such thing like this. Just I want to brief out about what is organs. And one more point here, this central vacuole of course later may contain some intermediate metabolites. It produces metabolites, that is for the synthesis, for the growth and development of its own tissue and other tissues and other animals. Animals and this. In addition to this, what is that? We will talk about what is that? Some compounds, some intermediate compounds, but they are not used in this growth and development, but they are using only under some stressful conditions. May plants undergo some stress conditions. Stress means external drastic conditions, maybe a drought, or what is that, a severe heat, or there may be infection with that. So these are what is protected by the presence of these these has come out as chemicals and protect the plant and plant cell against this drastic effect on the plant. That is the purpose of central vacuole. Here it is not there. And this is a different mechanism against the infection and all. There is different mechanism. That is the mechanism, what is the cellular mechanism of the cell. There is a difference between animal cell and this is about the DNA molecule and DNA molecule. So I want to talk about the DNA molecule present in this. I told you that is cells about trillions, not in billions, trillions of cells. Human body contains about 38 trillions, not billions, trillions. It's quite a bigger number. Trillions of cells of human body. And they are distributed in different organs, not in one organ. Our body contains different organs. You know that 78 organs are present in our body. Brain is one organ. Liver is another organ. Lungs, heart, tissue, muscles like this. And each organ contains billions of molecules. Here billions organ make total trillions entire body. Billions of molecules. And in each organ, these cells are specialized, same cells specialized. Example, liver. In the liver tissue, cells are specialized. What is specialization? Only liver that is function what is required to the function. Only it will do the functions of what liver can do. That is cell. It is differentiation. Cells are differentiated, are specialized into only that kind of cells. Similarly, the heart, the tissue contains cardiac cells. Only those cells perform what function, what the heart required to be done. Not any other. What the liver is doing, not done in the cells of heart. It is only to the cell. It is called specialization, the cells. Like this, each organ, even so the heart, lungs, intestine, GIT or muscles, these cells are organizing themselves into special. That is called what is special? That is organization. And the cells of the organs, particular cells, that is cells of particular organs are specialized. What is the meaning of specialization? All the cells of course come from same cell, stem cell. What is stem cell? It contains all 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes are present in the cell. And entire genetic information, that is all genetic information is stored. What the human body requires now, all of them stored. But only some genetic information, only some genetic matter, what is that? Genetic code will be active. The cell is programmed in such a way that only that genetic material will act in that particular organ. Only that genetic material, what is that? Genetic information is open up and do the function. Remaining genetic will not do, it becomes inactive. That is called specialization. Heart cells can do only function of heart. Liver cells will do only function of liver cells. Lungs cells function only, that is function of what the lungs do. That is why specialization. That is called, this is very interesting point that each organ is specialized. And cells of each organ, all cells have same program to perform. Of course, these cells work under the control of central nervous system. Brain contains cells, so many neuron cells, millions and billions of cells. Under control. This cell sends signal, receives signal. Sends signal, from this cell to brain and receive signal from the brain to cell. This also very important under control. If this is control is there, then is a healthy cell. They will make what is that, what is required, how many cells. You will maintain the constant level, constant amount of cells. Cell means same number of cells in the organ, will not exceed or down. So it will see the regulation, cell amount. Is under control of the brain system. If it is go out of control, if this goes out of control, it is, if they are not under control of brain, what is that? That becomes a cancerous. Cells are cancerous tissue. That is what cancer is known as. So it is all the cells directly under control, well controlled under this. The function, they synthesize as per the instruction. They give the instruction what to open. That is, what gene is, what code is open. That code is open and make the molecules. What molecules make, and how much of molecules make, very important. And what molecules are made. What is the function here? Here inside the function, inside the cell, outside the cell. It is important. Only those molecules may non-stop, and the cell number is always constant. That is very interesting question. Is this? This is under control of the brain, but here there is no brain. Every cell has its own, what is that? Some controlling mechanism. They have control they themselves, whatever they want to do. But here, animal, all the cells, all the hormones, directly under perfect control of the central nervous system. Through what is that? Neuronal. That is through neurons. They give the control, the signals. That is what about the cell. About this. That's why just differentiated. What are the differences between the plant cell and the animal cell I told about. And next is tissue I am talking about. What is tissue? Because for living, I told you, is the smallest living unit. To live all the time, what is that? There should be a constant supply of nutrients. And a constant, what is that? Exchange of nutrients between the cytosol and its surroundings. Between the cytosol and surroundings. And nutrients make entry and the waste products, what is that? Make exit from here. This should be there always, all the time. For what is that? To keep this cell active. To keep this cell, what is that? Steady. What is that actually taking place in all the tissues? Tissue actually, I can just generally a brief discussion of the cell. That is, what is that? A tissue of plant or tissue of animal. Because the tissue matrix is tissue matrix. Here, tissue is its environment, very important. In this environment only, these cells are what is that surviving. It is extra, there is tissue, these cells are embedded, it is extracellular material, and this is cell inside intracellular material. We have materials inside the cell, material outside the cell. This is macroscopic, you can see, and these cells are microscopic, which is inside these materials. Contains so many cells. You can see through microscope that is there cells spreading over there. Microscopic. But this is macroscopic. Tissue we can see directly, but we cannot see inside. Cells are there. And here 3 different compartments, fluid compartments. Fluid means water content. Fluid also tissue contains, water contains. This tissue and this what is that internal components, all this what is that mainly made of proteins. Different proteins, protein molecules. And also carbohydrate, mixed with carbohydrate, make the structure of the tissue and the structure of the cell, all made up of protein and little carbohydrate of course here. This is tissue matrix, cellular matrix. This compartment also containing water. Water is there, filled with water solution, fluid. And one more compartment here, this compartment is a vascular system. Fluid is there. What is vascular system? In this organ, here a systemic capillaries are present. Here arteries, blood. Blood is what is that actually? Is a liquid. The liquid cell, that is liquid tissue, it is flowing all over. What is that? It is flowing all the time all over the organs. As sending from the heart, what is that? From the artery, from the heart to all organs, through arteries, then arterioles, and finally into systemic capillaries. That is branches, further into 5 capillaries that are systemic capillary in the organ. And these capillary finally turns into what is that? Venous blood flowing out. And venous and veins and main veins again back to the heart. Heart is the one which pump, that is a circulatory system, circulate into organs again back into organs, taking nutrients from the lungs and the intestine. That is why here fluid compartments are there. Here fluid, blood, vascular compartment, tissue compartment, cellular compartment. 3 different fluids are there. Fluid of blood vessels, fluid of tissue, fluid of cell. And this is keep moving. And the things are what is that? Diffusing across. Nutrients diffuses from, that is capillaries into tissue, that is fluid of tissue, and then tissue into fluid of, that is cytosol, cellular fluid. Nutrients moving from here. Nutrients means, I'll tell you what, and waste products, that is cellular waste diffuses from compartment, fluid compartment, from the cellular compartment to tissue compartment, and tissue compartment to fluid compartment. This section is the nutrients in this direction, waste in this direction. Not only waste, here are some important compounds. Some cells, what is that, make the molecules which are needed by other organs, example hormones. In addition to that, so those hormones produce, they are acting on the other organs. Example, insulin is the one example, very good example. Insulin actually is synthesized in the pancreatic cell. In addition to the waste, the pancreatic cell produces also insulin hormone is producing. It will come out and enter into bloodstream. And this blood will supply this insulin to all other cells. Very important insulin, which is a regulate. What is that? Which is the one responsible for diffusion of glucose across all cell membrane into cell. Without insulin, glucose cannot diffuse. Insulin was the one, what is that, is a sensor or something, what is that, is the one which can program on the cell membrane. That program, that is sense and open the gate. Only with this sensor, it's just like a sensor, just a key like this. It opens the key, opens what is that gates under sensors, then only the gates are open for glucose entry. Otherwise glucose will not enter. That is why if insulin deficiency is there, glucose will remain in the tissue, will not enter. Only part of the glucose will enter. Remain as what is that? Glucose concentration increases, not into the cell. Cell cannot use it. That is the reason there is a diabetic patient. I mean, talking about diabetes. And this is what the nutrient exchange, constant exchange of nutrients and waste between 3 different compartments. Fluid compartment, cellular compartment, tissue compartment, vascular compartment. This is capillary system. What is that? This is leaky. These vessels, systemic capillaries, is highly leaky because leaking through. It can come out and go into, because it contains very thin wall. Only one layer of endothelial cell, blood vascular system with a basal membrane. It is thin. And all other arterioles and arterioles are quite thick, cannot leak. On the other side there is no leakage, only a leakage in the tissue only. There is a leaking and exchange of materials. And this leakage of course is different size in different organs. Brain less and intestine more because more absorption is in intestine and all. And also bigger materials where hormones and other protein, where the enzyme molecules pass now. The holes are bigger, depends on what is the different organs. Different, yeah. This is what is, this should be active to make the cell live. And these nutrients, what is that? This is humoral. The nutrients, where they come from in animals? They come from GIT. GIT, animals are GIT, but this plant has no GIT. The difference. What is GIT? Digestive system. Mouth down to intestine. You have a series of reactions. What reaction? Food materials. What is the food materials you take? All macromolecules. Food stuff contains macromolecules. Carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, and other minerals, vitamins of course, you need in small quantities. And these food materials, what is that? Macromolecules. Our GIT or intestine, small intestine cannot absorb macromolecules. These macromolecules should be sliced into pieces. Carbohydrate into glucose. Protein molecules into amino acids in the GIT. By action of enzymes, because the enzymes are the released all over the GIT from mouth to stomach, that is intestine, pancreas, all the numerous enzymes, and also fat, slicing fat, that is all the enzymes. All these enzymes, what is that? Make food digestive. The purpose, the digestion is what is actually macromolecules are slicing into small molecules. Carbohydrates, starch becomes or sugars. Protein molecules becomes amino acids, and fat molecules becomes fatty acid and glycerol. Then these small molecules can absorb through what is that intestine, small intestine, and can enter into bloodstream. There is a way, that is nutrients can make entry into this. GIT is there first, but there is no GIT here. What is the nutrients? The plants, very interesting point, they take the nutrients directly from the environment. Animals have no system like this. Animals have a special system, GIT, cannot take the nutrients directly from the environment. It will take the food through GIT. GIT make them simplify, then take the nutrients. But here, plants have what is that? Take the nutrients directly from the environment, from the soil. From the soil, take all water now. Water is also taking. Water is also taken from the GIT. But what is taken from the roots? From the root, what is that? Water is taking, nitrate is taking, that is ionic, what is that? Minerals, potassium ion, these ions, phosphate ions, sulfate ions, potassium, magnesium, sodium ions, and ion minerals are always absorbed by the roots. A special mechanism is that directly the roots can absorb these minerals, important for this. Water through this. And the carbon dioxide, the leaves can directly take from the atmospheric air. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide for making what is that? Glucose. And these minerals, what is that? These minerals actually, the system is that there is a plant in the system. What is that system? We have xylem tissues and phloem tissues. What are xylem tissues? Xylem tissues are a vascular bundle. They don't have blood like this, blood vascular system. They have their own vascular system, bundles. Xylem vascular system and phloem vascular bundles are there. What is that? Small capillaries, a bundle of capillaries. Central bundle is always xylem. Central bundle of every root. Central, there is one bundle, small capillary, bundle of small capillaries. Xylem. And also xylem, what is that? Capillaries directly entire extend to all leaves, stems of this. Through this xylem, these nutrients absorb water and this absorb and flow against the gravity and up to leaves by capillary action, because when you find capillaries, it is called capillary action, rises by capillary action. From the root to top, whichever right, however right the plant is pushing up by capillary action. So these nutrients, that way they enter it, and carbon dioxide entry into the plant through leaves. Every leaf underneath, what is that? There are a number of pores through which carbon dioxide enters and also entry of carbon dioxide and exit of oxygen. Oxygen will leave out, carbon dioxide takes. These are the nutrients. And after this, the chloroplast where the molecules are synthesized, different molecules. The plant can synthesize all amino acids, all proteins, and again making proteins, and glucose, and all type of carbohydrates, cellulose, starch, and this glucose and amino acids make what is that? There is lipid molecules. So all these molecules, what is that? They use for their use, and also they send the extra amount. What is that? The extra prepared amount out through what is the phloem bundles, capillaries of bundles. Here this is surrounded, this bundle is surrounded by one more bundles, capillary bundles. They are called as phloem. So this phloem is what is actually surrounding all this what is that here, and through phloem, all the materials what is made out of it is sending to all parts of the animal. Wherever they require is stem, root, and all of the parts. And also some extra will store up as seed and fruit. Those extra what is that? A seed. What seed now? A seed may be a protein seed containing only protein molecules. Protein is seed. So example seeds, cereals, proteins, and cereals of starch, rice and ragi and wheat like this. They store up in the seeds. And what is that? The sugar and other minerals are also stored up as a fruit. So they can produce fruits and seeds as a food material. By all these are making by this cell, like this plant cell of plant. They are used by animal cells directly from the plant. Or these plants can use animals and other animals can become food for their animals. But directly or indirectly, animals cannot make their own food. They always depend on the food prepared by the fish. That is what the mechanism I'm talking about this. And this is about the function of each organelle and what type of plant the cell is, what type of animal the cell is. That is what I am talking about. This is about the lecture. Now I will give the list. Here protein molecules are synthesized, carbohydrate molecules are synthesized, and lipid molecules are synthesized, and see what the functions of this. And next class, next class, we see how this protein molecule is synthesized by cellular mechanism. What mechanism is there in the next class? Let us see what is going to see what is that, how this protein molecule is synthesized in according to the cellular mechanism. What mechanism or what genetic code? What is the mechanism? The central dogma. It is also called a central dogma. I call that. How the protein molecule is making using DNA gene. The process is there. Mechanism is there. What is the mechanism? That is see in the next class. Continuation. Thank you.